Hello, and welcome to Coding Cave. My name is Andre.
And my name is Chris.
And today we'll be starting our third part on our Elm programming series, where we'll be answering the question, what are values in Elm? Take it away, Chris.
Alright, so assuming you followed or how to install Elm from the last video, you should have Elm installed, and you want to go ahead and open up your terminal or command prompt on Windows machines. So I'm going to open it up, terminal, and we're going to touch the Elm REPL today, and that's just going to let us put some values in Elm. So I'm going to write Elm space REPL, R-E-P-L, and that stands for read, evaluate, print loop, and then starts the REPL. But that's going to be kind of hard to see for the purposes of the video, so I'm going to exit this out and go into a larger REPL. All right. So I'm in a REPL. In Elm, you have many values that have different types. One of the types of values is of type string. A string is anything you put in double quotation marks. You can put your name in, like Chris. And you see that on the right side of the value is the type, so string. But you can put anything in a string.
And by anything, we mean anything.
You can put numbers in there, put your name in there, put the asterisk in there, stars. I mean, if you speak Chinese, you can turn your Chinese keyboard on. 我是猫. You can put Chinese in there. You can even put emojis in there as well. Let's do that too. 好. And I'm going to switch back to my English keyboard now to close out the double quotation. And if I press enter, shrink.
In addition to strings, we also have something called Char, which is short for character. And those can be written out by having a single quotation and a single value inside that quotation. And that, on the right side you see, we have Char. But what if we were to put two characters inside of there? Well, Elm would throw an error, like so.
Yeah. And this is where Elm is nice. You're talking to the compiler. So Elm reads your statement, it tries to evaluate it, but if the types aren't right, it will tell you, and a very nice error message. So other things that we have are numbers. We have whole numbers like you're familiar with, like 2, 3, and 4. But you know, after you got over whole numbers, you learned about negative numbers like -3 and still numbers. We can do that in Elm. 0 is a number, of course. And you got a little bit more advanced, and they start putting decimals in the mix. So you have 4.0, that's a number. But that's just float. Now, a computer has limited space, right? And limited memory. And some numbers are infinite, you know. 1 being is 1 divided by 3. You learned in school that this will go on forever, repeating decimals. So we have these things called floats that kind of just float around the value. And it stands for floating point value. But all right.
We also have what are called Booleans, but in Elm they're called Bool. And those represent statements such as true or false. But in Elm, you can see that the first character is capital. If it was to be lowercase, it'll throw an error like so.
Comment down below who Bool is named after. But these are the basic primitive values in Elm. And next time we're going to talk about functions or how to transform these values.
Give us a like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for our next video.